You know, we really do get to do a lot of cool stuff. We get to ride the latest sleds, get our hands on the latest technology and play with it, and also go to some really cool spots in North America, but truly around the world as well.
For sure, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I know that there's so many times I wish I could go back and just relive those awesome experiences just once more, maybe carve that perfect line in the powder one more time, or hang out with those great people we met for just one more day.
Absolutely, and I know that we've both been talking about doing a best of story covering off the destinations that we've really loved over the years. But we don't have a ton of time, so we're going to jump right into it. Luke, why don't you go first?
For this one, I'm going to go back quite a few years to a trip I took in Quebec with a good friend of mine, Jason Ray. We sampled the trails in the Tadoussac and the Baie-Comeau regions. We kayaked on a fjord. We crossed the St. Lawrence on a ferry, and I got locked in a cage with a full-size timber wolf. Needless to say, this is one that I'm never going to forget. This trip came at a really opportune time. We'd been having the longest winter in decades in Ontario, and I felt like I had one more ride left in me, so this opportunity came up to go to Quebec late in the season, and I knew there's one other guy who really hadn't had enough riding for the year, my buddy Jason, so I called him up and thought he's the perfect guy to bring along. He's as enthusiastic about winter as I am.
That is a big piece of steel to be going that fast, man. How do they stop it?
I was like rocket.
The actual snowmobile portion of this adventure began for Jason and I just outside the town of Sacré-Cœur. We stayed at a lodge called Ferme 5 Étoiles. It was the perfect place for us to set up camp and start our first couple days of riding because it's right on the trail and it's right near the fjord. We got hooked up with a guide who actually worked at Ferme 5 Étoiles. His name was Derek, and he knew the area inside and out. He knew the back trails, he knew the snowmobile trails. He was the perfect guy to show us everything this area had to offer. Knowing that Quebec trails are among the best in the world, I was really excited for Jason to experience them. Name one thing I never thought I'd be doing. Locking myself in a cage with a wolf. Right for the neck every time.
Yeah.
It was a lot less scary than I thought once I was in there. The wolf was actually very friendly. I'm not going to venture into the woods and go petting all the wolves I see, but that one was really nice and it was a really cool experience.
For me, it was a trip that both of us were on. It was in Revelstoke, BC, and we got to ride with Randy Swenson, the big mountain rider, as well as Brock Hoyer, who's well known for snow bikes. And this was our first foray into snow bike riding, as well as big mountain turbos.
As we rode out of the parking lot, we started in pretty skinny conditions, but it did not take long once we started going up the side of that mountain to get into some really, really beautiful snow conditions, some sun.
You're looking back out over the town of Revelstoke, and it's just like, it's amazing. I mean, you got mountains in the background, you got the river that runs through, you got the town.
Well, today we're up, we're in Boulder Mountain in Revelstoke, BC, and we're here today with the SnowTrax fellas, Luke and AJ. We're going to let them experience Yamaha four-stroke snowmobiles in a mountain environment. The 2016 Yamaha Viper MTX.
It was awesome riding. These Yamaha sleds, the power that an MPI kit adds to a Viper is just insane. It doesn't matter what altitude you're at. Here we're riding maybe 6,000 to 7,000 feet. This thing is making that 180, horsepower all the time. So our day two was going to be all about snow bikes, and we had the brand new 2016 YZ450F bikes with the Yeti 129 kit on it.
I mean, to say that I was excited would be an understatement, but I was also super nervous because as much as everybody can tell you this is going to be so easy, and the guys all kept saying, this is easy, snow, riding snowmobiles, you'll be fine out there, you've ridden dirt bikes in your past and you'll be fine. I just didn't believe them.
I gotta tell you, I was intimidated. I mean, looking at a snow bike on hard packed snow, you're not sure if you're gonna be able to ride this thing. It was a super fun experience. Honestly, this might be one of the best times I've had in deep snow, and riding with great people, great equipment, in a really beautiful area.
There's no question riding in the mountains is always memorable, but for me, it's oftentimes the people I ride with that make a trip more memorable than the others. Riding in Montana with Rob Kincaid and Dave McClure definitely tops the list. Guns and sleds, man. Merca.
I know a lot about Yellowstone, and I've ridden there many times, but I don't know Rob and Dave that well, and I didn't know what to expect from a ride with them. We met up at the local Arctic Cat dealership before heading out, and from the very first handshake, I knew this experience was going to be a memorable one.
I've been riding snowmobiles for 18 years, mainly racing, and I've always rode in the backcountry. I love the mountains because it's always challenging.
I don't even know how many years I've been riding. I mean, ever since I was old enough to hold on to a snowmobile.
After a full day of riding in West Yellowstone with Rob and Dave, I can honestly say I now know who these guys are. I know they're just normal guys with incredible talent who have worked extremely hard to be able to do what they love for a living. I also learned that they're both avid outdoorsmen and hunters who, like me, have a passion for shooting guns. With this in mind, I thought it'd be cool to go to an awesome little shooting range right in downtown West Yellowstone that offers shooters the opportunity to try fully automatic machine guns.
We got to go down to the gun range, and it was pretty cool. I didn't even know that there was places like that in the United States where you could go in and grab some machine guns and blow some stuff up. It was pretty awesome.
I'm kind of labeled as the off-trail guy, but another one in Montana that tops the list and also gives you kind of an experience that's much broader is West Yellowstone. You can experience the beauty of Yellowstone National Park or go right next door to the Gallatin National Forest and have a blast playing in the mountains.
I've been out to West Yellowstone so many times I've lost track. I've been here in the winter, I've ridden sleds, I've been here in the summer, I've done ATVs and side-by-sides. I keep coming back because I love this place. It's such a wonderland, such a cool spot, so many things that it offers for people to do and so many experiences. I mean, the scenery is just second to none. And honestly, I love the winter here the best. Brandy had a special spot picked out for us. It's a place that she really likes to go, and it's sort of her free ride area that she doesn't tell anybody about, and she kept it special for us, which was great. That was nice. We broke over this one hill, and quite literally, there was this valley in between the trail. The trail did this loop right around this valley. It was what you could explain as being sort of almost like a snowcross playground. And I think Brandy stuck to the trail and was kind of wondering where we were. And at one point, she was stopped on the trail looking around, and Jamie and we both looked at each other and we were like, should we do this? And I think it was pretty much known that we were going to do this.
It was great going up to Two Top again. Got a lot of experience up there with shooting photos for the magazine. So we kind of knew the areas that we were aiming towards that had some drifts from previous years and had some great hits, so provided some great shots.
I think we've got time for one more, and let's make this one really special.
Yeah, and I'm pretty certain that we're not going to disagree in any way. Usually we fight it out, but this one we agree on.
I knew that after riding last season with Carl and pushing myself really past where I thought I was capable, trained me to become a better rider, and I knew that I was going to go out and force Luke to do a couple of those things too.
I was excited to ride in the Sicamous area with Carl in particular because obviously I'd heard AJ's stories. I'd heard all the crazy things that Carl had coaxed him to do and taught him how to do, but I also know that that area of BC is spectacular. It is a mountain riding paradise. Carl's setup in particular is quite private, so the places he rides aren't really tracked up, they're not really accessed by a lot of people, so he basically guarantees that you're going to find fresh powder and untracked areas. So I was pretty excited to be the first one to make some lines in some fresh snow.
But then once they ride here for a bit, then they finally get to have the feeling of those really long, cool descents.
The first trip down the side of the mountain was, I can only describe it as out of control because I really didn't know what I was doing.
It was interesting. He was picking along nice and slow the whole time, taking the safe lines, and really you could tell he was super nervous.
After I did it once, after I made it to the bottom and realized I wasn't dead, all I wanted to do was do it again. And the second and third time I did it, I was on the gas running down the side of the hill. I was actually accelerating on my side, and the snow was coming over the hood, and there was a few drifts in the middle where you're kind of just pounding through and the snow's flying everywhere. It was one of the best feelings I've ever had on a snowmobile.
This has been a lot of fun looking back on some of our favorite trips, but the truth of the matter is, what's most important is what's to come in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got lots of cool stuff lined up. We're going to go back to some of these places, I'm sure, but in the future, we've got lots of great stuff coming your way.
If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more content from SnowTrax TV, click the like button and subscribe to the SnowTrax TV YouTube channel.